I love my mom so much, and I'm so happy that she applied, even though she's in bankruptcy.
We have a problem with our young people. They are not being taught what can financially destroy them.
Parents and grandparents, if you sign for a Parent Plus loan for your kid or your grandkid, it is your legal responsibility to pay that loan. It is not their legal responsibility to pay that loan. They may offer to pay part of it. They may offer to help. But if they don't, it's all on you. You signed for the loan. It doesn't matter who the education's for. You signed for the loan. Therefore, it's your responsibility. You can get angry. You can stamp your feet. You can yell. You can shake your fist to the heavens. But the reality is, it's on you. And if your kid can't afford to pay that loan back, well, you signed for it. You got to make that payment. And if you don't, all of the consequences of non-payment are going to fall on you, not on them.
This is something as we start the fall school year with kids going to college. And I've already talked to one parent who, showed me a dorm room picture that their daughter is in college and all of that stuff. I know with the Dave Ramsey videos also, we've watched a number of videos, a surprising number of them, where there are Parent Plus loans. And what is it that the parents are expecting? They're expecting that the child is going to pay back the loan. And how many videos have we watched where the child decides, well, they graduated from college after the parents paid for the Parent Plus loan, and the child decides, well, I'm going to get married and stay at home. We've seen that. Okay, these are videos that we've seen. The child decides, well, they just simply don't want to be in school at all. So they drop out halfway through school. We've seen that. What we've also seen is supposedly parents will say something like, well, I agreed with my child. We signed a contract, whatever, that they're going to pay me back. Or the parents, unfortunately are indigent and did this out of the goodness of their heart, okay, and said the child will pay them back. Here is the bottom line. As students enter college this fall, and in some ways I just cringe, because as much as it's exciting to enter college, I think having had my own student loan, watching these videos, reading countless numbers of articles on people with student loans, oh man, I think to myself, how many of the young people going to college right now in 5 years, if not less, because remember, there's a huge percentage that will never graduate. And I can't remember what it was, but I would almost bear to say it's near the 50% mark that will never get a degree. They're going to enter college this fall, right now, and they are never going to graduate. And then they're going to be carrying this burden of debt that they have that they never got a degree on. And how many of those will get degrees? It's a huge number. I do believe, I'd almost be willing to bank a Pepsi from Thornton's on it, more than half will graduate statistically and never work in their field. I have 3 degrees, one in journalism from the University of Oregon. I don't practice journalism. I have one from the University of Phoenix, which is still considered an accredited school, but has had a lot of rather tumultuous accreditation and reputation history. But I have that in organizational management. I don't do that. Okay. The one degree that I do have that actually paid off is the University of South Florida. Go Bulls. Okay. And that, of course, is for my English education. But we're talking, come on, folks, that's 60 per 65. I'm bad at math. Okay. 65% or so of my education, I'm not doing squat with it. Now, you could say, well, the journalism degree kind of helps you to be a teacher. Great. I would rather have not experienced the $110,000 debt to do all that. And that $110,000 did not include the journalism degree from 1985. Parents cannot rely on the word, the favor, the expectation, or anything else that the child is going to pay back the student loan. I was also reading another article. This, of course, it was an article. It was on TikTok. Nothing is really read on TikTok. We just stare at it. TikTok is like really mindless entertainment. I love it. And somebody, I kid you not, as I was collecting the clips for tonight's live stream, somebody on TikTok said, somebody told them, so think a friend of a friend told them, the best people to get to sign off on student loans, they recommended that the grandparents sign off on Parent Plus loans versus the parents. Why? because of the age of the grandparents. And once the grandparents pass away, well, it is true, even though people don't seem to know it. The student loan, the people responsible for student loan bill are the people that signed on the debt. There is no fear that, if your mom, your dad, pass away, that all of a sudden the debt transfers to the child. If the child did not sign off on the loan, it's not their debt. So leave it up to TikTok, because it never even crossed my mind that, if you can get great grandma to sign off on your Parent Plus loan, I'm not laughing at the thought, okay? Bear with me here, okay? But if you can get great grandma to sign off on the loan, all right, and grandma, Lord rest her soul, passes away, hey, no one's responsible for the debt. You take that with whatever information you wish, only on TikTok.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about what we've figured out so far.
Okay, this next video is the longest clip, and this has a lot of commentary. I know it is what it is. Okay, I'm good for an hour, folks. All right. Now then, here's the thing. This young lady decides, I'm just going to tell you this right up front because I looked at her channel. She decides not to go to this out-of-state school. She was going to go to this out-of-state school. It was going to cost money, and she decides not to go. But she still does go to a school in state. Apparently the out-of-state school she wanted to go to was very expensive, but she still decides to go in state. However, the reason I want to show this video is because even though she went to school in state, it does not invalidate the fact that her parents are broke and she is broke. So they're still taking on the student loan debt. So this is going to be a little commentary part. The next two videos after that are literally almost 10 seconds each. So here we go.
What we've learned. So we applied for the Parent Plus loan and it didn't get denied. I literally do not know how. My mom is in bankruptcy.
If you heard correctly, they applied for a Parent Plus loan. The mother is just wrapping up a bankruptcy.
I don't know if it's because she's towards the end of it. Also, I was pretty vague when I posted that, saying that both my parents are in bankruptcy. They're not my stepdad, but then I live with my dad, and he's not in bankruptcy, but he's paying off my brother's student loans from 10 years ago.
Okay, you can see why I chose to play this, all right? And this is no hate or anything on this young lady. I'm actually feeling sorry for her because I think there's a lot of naivety here. So she wants a student loan. And like I said, she makes the smart decision. She decides to go in state. But the problem is mom clearly does not have a grip of finances. Mom's coming out of bankruptcy. Dad clearly does not have a grip of the finances. And it sounds like they're possibly divorced is what it sounds like. And he's paying for her brother from her brother's schooling a decade ago. So we have two parents that are financially illiterate in the sense of understanding how to manage money and how to clearly deal with student loan debt. Filing bankruptcy means you don't understand how to manage money. Now, the confusing part to me is why would a person file bankruptcy on bills that you can file bankrupt on, but then decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take out Parent Plus loans for something that you cannot file on. Just a thought.
My brother dropped out of college and then he just started again.
Brother dropped out of college and started again. I feel really badly for her. I really do, because I just realized my main lights aren't on. So just excuse me while I turn these on. It dawns. You sit there and you go, the apples don't fall far from the tree. And again, there is no disrespect towards this young lady, because it takes guts to put your stories out there. Trust me. Okay. But what I'm trying to show is when a young person has little to no guidance on how to manage debt, then how do we keep her generation in her family, okay, generational family, okay, how do we keep the family tree from just racking up more debt? And again, I commend her for deciding to go to school in state. That was in a separate video. That's the reason I'm telling you that part. But it doesn't solve the problem that she can't afford it. Her parents can't afford it. They can't afford college.
He's like in his 30s now. So he's still paying off those, and he didn't want to like take up another loan. Yeah, so basically the moral of the story is we didn't get denied for a Parent Plus loan. I love my mom so much, and I'm so happy that she applied, even though she's in bankruptcy.
We have a problem with our young people. They are not being taught what can financially destroy them. Now, again, I know I've had my debt history, but I think what's partly so frustrating is I look at my debt history, and just like a parent looks at a child and goes, I don't want you to touch the hot stove. I know the result. I know the band-aids you're going to have to put on. I know the wounds you're going to suffer. But the problem is having a young person be internally grateful that, oh, I'm so proud of my mom. She filed bankruptcy and now she's going to get a Parent Plus loan. Even though this young lady went to in-state school, I'm willing to bet she still had to get a Parent Plus loan because in-state school is still expensive. And I can guarantee it to you, she did not choose a community college. So we have a young lady, a beautiful young lady, congratulating her mother for filing bankruptcy and still willing to take on a Parent Plus loan. We have a father who clearly does not have control of his own debt, paying for a brother who dropped out of school. This is how generational poverty starts. And it can start with student loans. But I guarantee you in this situation, it started long before the student loan debt came along.
Yeah, also I kind of wish that we just like would have gotten denied and I would have gotten money, because it's like I literally do not know how we didn't get denied because my mom's in bankruptcy.
Because the student loan people will give anybody money if you breathe. It's just kind of like credit card debt because they know you can't ever file bankrupt on it. It's how when I filed bankruptcy over credit cards in my 20s, it's how literally I don't think I had barely had time to face the judge and walk out the courthouse steps out the door in total shame before I started getting offers saying, hey, you know what? We can dismiss your bankruptcy. It's not a big deal. Go buy a car, go get more credit card debt. Student loans are not bankruptable. They can garnish anything and everything, including your Social Security. And they will.
But I still have to pay off student loans now, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, but I just want to make this video because I was trying to figure out all this stuff and it's just really stressful and I kind of procrastinated. I have really bad anxiety. And also,
you want to know anxiety? If she thinks she has anxiety now, wait till the student loan bills start. There are stories, and we talked about it. It's been a while since I talked about it, but there are stories on students with anxiety and student loan debt. Severe anxiety, medication anxiety.
For like another one of the things that people were saying is like, you can just like not stay in a dorm. My college is like 14 hours away.
Now, again, she decides not to attend this college and go in-state.
In Florida, and I live in Ohio, so that's not really an option. Also, like someone else said, like, oh, just like stay in-state. In-state tuition is literally the same amount because I didn't get any scholarships to anywhere besides at the school out of state. And sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. But also, I don't have a car and I don't have my license because I have really bad anxiety. So staying in-state isn't really an option, like going to a community college because I can't drive there. And just
it's amazing when we really want something, we dismiss so easily all the different options we could actually have. Well, I really want this school, so I can't go to a community college. I really want this car, and I need to have it because, I got to have safe transportation for the kids, the wife, the husband, whatever. I really, really want to get a manicure every Saturday because, I have to look nice for work. We dismiss things so easily when we are trying to get money to fit in the box that we most want it in. Any other solutions? Oh no, we dismiss those solutions. Those alternatives we so easily dismiss.
Needed to be on a college campus where I can like live on campus. But thank you to everyone who was commenting and trying to help me figure it out. But I'll update you if I like figure anything else out, because the other thing is like I have this loan now, so I don't have to pay for college, but I also really don't have a lot of savings to like afford to live. So, and I didn't get like a loan for any of that. Like it literally like paid like the exact amount. So yeah.
So she, like I said, she goes to in-state, but she still is in the same financial predicament. So we know her mother still took out a Parent Plus loan. It kind of makes me think debt is debt is debt to some extent. Although, of course, in-state's cheaper, still going to be debt. And she's going to, I guarantee you, have anxiety, unfortunately, when it comes time to pay the bill.
Also, I do need kind of a little bit more to live because I'm bringing my cat, and she's my emotional support animal.
And that's something else I really wanted to quickly address. I understand she's an emotional support animal. She might have a medical reason with her anxiety. I'm going to respect that. But let's put that medical reason aside, just something for people to consider. When you commit yourself to a pet and you're young, you are unestablished, all right? You have to consider you are limiting where you can live. You are limiting in the sense of this apartment accepts. There's a $50 a month pet fee. There's a $500 pet deposit fee. You have dogs. You have perhaps big dogs. Well, this apartment complex or this condo, townhouse, whatever, absolutely no big dogs whatsoever. Certain HOAs, even in houses, yes, individual standalone houses, depending upon the HOA. All right. The type of pet you have may or may not allow you to live there. This can further strain a budget. It's just something to consider.
So, yeah.
I regret getting a car note. And it's not even because I might not have the money to pay my payment or something like that. I really just regret getting one because it's just very inconvenient and it be in the way. Like, it's just really an unnecessary bill. And it really showed me that when you get a car note, it's because you want something nice and you can't afford it. And, leasing and credit and stuff like that, it makes a way so you can get things that you want that you can't afford. But it's like that. Like them payments be in a way.
Oh, you know what? I have to be honest. It was that line that made me choose this clip. Them payments be in the way. Yeah, them car payments be in the way of your travel plans, your vacation, visiting mom and dad, taking out the significant. Okay, yeah, them plans get in the way of you buying your what is name brand clothes that you'd like. Perhaps going to the school you want. Yeah, them payments. I thought it was so cute the way he expressed that.
It most definitely be in a way, and especially at my age because there's so much I want to do.
And for those who can't see, he's obviously very, very young. I'd say very early 20s.
If I ain't gonna lie, if I could today, I would let come pick that car up and I would go save my money and go buy me another car. Just because it just be in a way for real. And this is really for the people that's thinking about getting one. It's not for people that already have one. I mean, yeah, use the comments to like speak your truth, but come on now, be respectful.
All right, this one, we are on about the last 20 seconds of TikTok here. Told you these last couple of videos are really short. This one here, for those who cannot see the screen, I inserted my own music because of copyright stuff. For those who cannot see the screen, this is actually just two screenshots. This first screenshot is a person who is showing the Parent Plus loan. It is $151,000 and $151,619. Okay, so we're around 151,000. All right, that's the Parent Plus loan. Now, if someone is taking out, and these TikToks are all relatively current. I didn't pick TikToks that were decades old. These are all within the last 6 months, maybe a year. So these are all current. Okay, so here we have a Parent Plus loan of $151,000. That gives me, okay, an idea of the parents' financial situation. It tells me the parents don't have a lot of money. Now, with a $151,000 Parent Plus loan, check out how much additional loan was taken out on this. We have an additional, for those who can't see the screen, $290,000 for Grad Plus. These are two different loans for the same person. We have approximately $450,000 in student loans. Approximately $300,000 in Grad Plus, another $150,000 in Parent Plus. I sure hope the parents were not planning on the grad student, their child, to pay back the $150,000. And it's actually, this TikTok is titled, "She Has More Student Loans Than You." So that's, okay, and this is the final one. This is a young lady crying, and this is, I'm just going to stop at this scene because this is the whole scene. She's crying, and I'm going to read to you what it says on the screen. Okay, I'm going to lower it down so I can see with my bifocals. I'm going to lower the screen for me. You won't notice the difference. Okay, it says, "How lucky I am that I had an amazing 4 years at college, but I just found out I owe over $450 a month on student loans, and I can't afford it. I can't afford it with all my other expenses." Now, on this particular TikTok, because I like to, look at follow-ups and see what they wrote, her actual payment with all of her other loans combined went from $450,000 to $800 a month. That is $800 a month. So, young people, you really, really need to consider and weigh, is it really worth crying on TikTok, being stressed out, all right, having to have your emotional support animals, yada, yada, okay, to be able to go to college? These are the things we don't see on college brochures, all right? All right, folks.